Now in here, we have Kekua from the other side of the Big Island. And so you can see the color is different too. It's lighter.
Entrepreneurship is lonely too. A lot of people think you're crazy when you're an entrepreneur, right?
From there, it just kind of went poof, and it was nuts. It was absolutely crazy. I had really bad imposter syndrome.
Everybody gather, Mauka to Makai. We gotta take a good look inside. Keiki and Kupuna, time for Helemai. We work together so we can rise. Local business, non-profits too, doing their best for me and you. We're gonna celebrate the ones who make Hawaiʻi great. It's Elevate 808.
Aloha and welcome to Elevate 808, where we feature the small businesses and nonprofits creating real impact across our islands. Today, we're hanging out with Meli James, one of the brains behind Mana Up, the game-changing accelerator helping Hawaii-born products go global without losing their roots. From snacks to skincare to stunning art, Mana Up has helped some of your favorite local brands level up, including Mānoa Chocolate and Aloha de Mele. We'll get the inside scoop on how it all started and what it takes to build a business with heart and hustle right here in Hawaii.
So I just broke this seed apart, right? And inside this seed are what we call the nibs. And this is what we make chocolate out of. So we make chocolate from the seed. And we have to roast it first, but I want you to try it raw because this is my job as the chocolate maker to make sure I buy good raw seeds.
I would guess that this is a good one.
You're correct.
Okay.
All right, you have a future in this.
I would guess that it would go towards milk chocolate.
No.
Oh man, I failed already.
When you eat them raw like this as a green fermented seed, you can't even tell that it's chocolate. And so I know based on this how to roast it and what I want to develop in it so that I can already tell what this is going to taste like as a finished chocolate bar.
Wow.
From day one, I wanted it to be a brand that would be in London and in Tokyo and in New York and around the world.
Yeah.
So that was the goal, and that's what we continue to strive for because we can grow it locally, we can make it locally, and we can ship it anywhere in the world. So we can have a real chance at developing an industry that is healthy here.
I bet when you first thought about that, to the average person, it's like, nice pipe dream, pal. But now, where you're at, it's like, yeah, you are.
Yeah, people aren't laughing anymore.
Yeah.
In the beginning, it sounded crazy. I was like, hey, Mom, would you buy a chocolate bar for like $6? And she's like, no. And then I realized it cost me like $7.50 or $8 to even make.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
I didn't understand my time,
Yeah.
which I was paying myself at the end of the day, like 23 cents an hour is what that worked out to in the beginning.
Gosh.
There was just so much I didn't know.
Yeah.
So a lot of times with entrepreneurship, it's like you only have so much time and so much money. So you make a couple bad decisions because you didn't know.
Yeah.
And entrepreneurship is lonely too. You don't have all these, a lot of people think you're crazy when you're an entrepreneur, right? So I went to college in New York and then I was in Silicon Valley or San Francisco, Bay Area for about 10 years. I really had fallen in love with entrepreneurship, obviously being in like the center of it in Silicon Valley. And had started a couple companies myself and just really love this idea that if you can take an idea and bring it to life and build a business around it. And we've had so many challenges in Hawaii. You know, I really felt like after I graduated from college that there wasn't a place for me here. If I wanted to do something different, that I had to go somewhere else. And that was frustrating to feel like I didn't have the choice. I mean, of course you have the choice, but that, you know, that this
Feels like
pathway
you don't,
for potential success was not gonna be here. And so after I had, you know, had some success there and decided, you know what, why don't I help build an innovation ecosystem here, a startup ecosystem here, from the things I'd learned myself there and having built my own businesses, how can I contribute to the things that are starting to happen here? This is Sugar Caddy, which is such
I love the name, by the way.
Yeah, it's like, and Ian is so wonderful. He is in cohort 10, our current cohort. And we just did a pop-up, like a drop with him over the weekend, which there was a line out the door. People are obsessed with his product, so we love having him. He's such a awesome entrepreneur, just really a go-getter. So we love working with go-getters.
And I'm a very like sensory type of person. It's like if I go through a department store, I'm always like touching the fabrics. I can safely say this is the softest, nicest fabric I've ever felt. It's supposed to be for your body. I would love the feeling as I put it on, as it rubs over my face.
We're learning more about you, Nolan. Yeah, this is good stuff. I had already been involved with some other accelerators that were more focused on tech, more focused on the University of Hawaii and commercializing intellectual property. All super amazing, interesting things. But and that was really more my background because I had already started a couple tech companies in the Valley prior to that. So that was my background. But I started thinking a little bit more broadly around other kinds of businesses and also thinking about regional strengths or competitive advantage that Hawaii already does have and what could be leveraged to create that leg up that would give companies an opportunity to be successful. So not just start here, but stay and thrive here because they already had this built-in advantage, which would be this regional strength that was already there. And so started thinking about like, what was that strength that we have and really landed on the brand of Hawaii, that it's globally loved, globally recognized. And the types of companies that could leverage it most successfully, even from a historical standpoint and from a future standpoint, what I thought could happen, were more product-based businesses. They weren't tech companies. I mean, you can call your tech company Mahalo, something, but I don't really think it gives it a leg up. When Brittany Hyde and I, my co-founder, started Mānoa Up, our big hairy goal was to help grow 100 companies earning 10 million or more in annual revenue. So what would $1 billion do for the state of Hawaii? And what would that look like from a job standpoint? And so if you think about like the Hawaiian Hosts of the world, the Honolulu cookies, how amazing would it be to have 100 more companies, all in different categories, not in chocolate and cookies necessarily, obviously, but having those really contribute from a C-suite executive management level job standpoint so that more folks that want to stay here, want to come back home, want to just be here, can live the life that they want to, and supporting companies that are headquartered here, owned here, and can really be creating those leaders based here in Hawaii.
So I wasn't artsy growing up at all.
Really?
I was full-on athlete. I went to school for exercise physiology, like started my PhD in health and human performance, everything. Like,
really?
That was what I was gonna do. In 2017, I had reconstructive hip surgery and I was stuck on the couch. I was really bored, and like a lot of my friends gave me adult coloring books. I had finally got an iPad for actually holding like workouts when I was like training my clients actually. And there was like a lot of things that I wanted for artwork and decoration. I couldn't find anything online, so I just was like, I'm just gonna draw it myself. So I drew it and then ta-da, and it was fun. I lost my job during COVID, and I had only been drawing like a little bit here and there, but during COVID, when I had literally nothing to do, I started figuring out how to do greeting cards. And then during COVID, it was really nice that a lot of the larger businesses here, like for example, Foodland, wanted to support local, and I think I kind of hit the market at the right time. And Foodland wanted my cards, so that's when I was like, oh my gosh, like I actually have to, people are expecting things from me. From there, it just kind of went poof, and it was nuts. It was absolutely crazy. I had really bad imposter syndrome.
That kind of confidence level that people have, especially on the East Coast or even the West Coast, it's like this major confidence. And then if you really distill it down, it's like they haven't done anything more than we have. We've actually, in some cases, done more, accomplished more. But like, how do we really create more of that confidence level to say, we're like total badass and we're gonna like, kick some butt, and we already are. And we should continue doing that and really be a lot more aggressive in being able to do that. Hawaii has had so much talent, high quality products, amazing things that we've brought to the world, but we've been lacking the resources, mentorship, access to capital, and just that like kind of smooth pathway for success.
September this year will be about 5 years of doing Aloha de Mele. And I didn't really get over the imposter syndrome until like maybe a little over a year ago. When I started hiring employees, it was very much, I had to believe in myself because I wouldn't want to work for a boss that didn't believe in herself and didn't believe in her business. I was like, okay, people rely on me. One of my employees has children, and I'm like, kids gotta eat. So I gotta make stuff. And I'm really lucky that I forgot to add, I got picked up pretty early in my career by Mānoa Up. And through just a lot of trials and tribulations, Mānoa Up honestly saved me. I had a little bit of a hiccup in the beginning of my career where all of a sudden I wasn't managed by somebody anymore, and Mānoa Up just like picked up the reins and was like, we can help you fulfill your orders. They helped me stay on that momentum that if they weren't there, I would have completely lost it, and Aloha de Mele wouldn't be as big as it is today without them.
Something you might not know, it's just me and my wife Jamie behind this show, sharing Hawaii's real stories with support from Hawaii State Federal Credit Union. But during these difficult times, we've been covering much of the cost ourselves to keep the show going. If you believe these stories deserve to be seen and celebrated, we invite you to join us. Visit our website to see how your support can help us continue sharing the good happening in our communities.
We do a program every year. We take 10 companies or so. This year we had 200 applicants for 10 spots.
Wow.
Which is really incredible just if you think about the momentum of folks starting companies, getting excited. When we first started Mānoa, people were saying, oh, you guys are crazy, you have way too many, too much criteria that a company has to even get in. You're gonna have a couple of cohorts and then you're gonna run out of companies. There's gonna be none left to go through. You're gonna get all of them and then it's done. And it's just kept growing. Every year we have more applications. So this year was our highest yet. We hit 200. It's a 6-month program. We meet weekly, and it's statewide initiative. So we fly in companies that aren't from Oahu with our partnership with Hawaiian Airlines. When they get into the program, that's one of the first things we're working on is their brand, their narrative, and what is that succinct hook and story that's so important for them to be able to utilize in their marketing, with their branding, their product, their packaging, all of those things, to me is one of the most important aspects of our program and of course of the companies as they move forward.
Yeah.
This is from another farm collaboration we have over on the Big Island. We helped start this farm at Honoli'i Estate, Honoli'i Orchards, just outside of Hilo. And they've got about 5 acres planted. And so this is their second batch that we've done from this farm.
Oh, no way.
Now in here, we have Kealakekua from the other side of the Big Island. And so you can see the color's different too, it's lighter. And so that's genetics. There's more of this white seeded varietal there, so it almost looks like milk.
Oh my gosh.
Super different,
That
right?
is very different. I never would have imagined just how significant the differences in taste are.
Same everything,
Wow.
except for where it grew.
So we work with a lot of the companies still. We have a really robust alumni program called our Wayfinder series. So as we get new resources, new content that make sense for some of our more advanced companies, like HR strategies, they're all hiring folks that aren't family anymore. So really creating that culture and HR policies. Those are all next level challenges, right?
Yeah.
So when they were at 100,000 plus in revenue, now they're at $1 million plus in revenue. There's totally different challenges in the business, helping them get from 1 million to 10. So that's an area where I'm very passionate about, as is Brittany. It's still the wild, wild west. Some of these programs have never been created before for companies that are still here in Hawaii, headquartered here. They're now 1 million plus. How do we help them solve those challenges that are gonna get them to 10 million? So our companies last year represented 105 million in revenue to the state of Hawaii. So we're a tenth of the way to our $1 billion goal.
Yeah.
They represented over 1,100 jobs. They're growing at a 33% average growth rate. And they're on average over 1.2 million in revenue, which is all of those stats just in and of itself are huge. They're all actually contributing to our economy. They're all actually hiring real employees. They're working with support companies, support services like marketing, HR, insurance. They're contributing, and it's all really kind of this multiplier effect that's really powerful.
I didn't realize that we had so many places here in Hawaii that grow cacao seeds.
Oh yeah.
I never hear about it. I hear about coffee.
And that's
taro.
because it's so new. Now there's 7 acres in the back of Kahaluu. There's about an 8-acre orchard in Mililani. We have our own farm collaboration, Kamananui Estate, which is in Waialua. We've got about 5 acres planted there. There's probably 50 acres over on the Hilo side, maybe something like 25 over on the Kona side.
Do you think, based on, especially since you're so knowledgeable about it, this cacao could be something like what, I don't know, pineapples or sugarcane used to be for the state, or is it?
I think it can, and in a way that it has more longevity.
Nice.
And that's because no one ever took pineapples and added value in the same way. Because you can grow a pineapple in Ecuador, and it's pretty much the same pineapple that grows here.
Mm.
And so by adding value is where you can get the dollar amount that can allow an industry to develop in a first world country.
Gotcha.
We have high labor and high land costs.
Yeah.
And so we have to be like Napa. Napa, it doesn't really pay to grow grapes.
Yeah.
They're selling bottles of wine. And that's what we need to be here. And so that's why it's fine to have many chocolate makers. In fact, essential to have many other chocolate makers succeed in scaling so that they can have their own orchards with their own factory on that orchard, so that when, 10 million people a year visit, they can tour our factory and their factory and that one and that one. You don't go to Napa because there's one good winery.
Right.
There's 100 of them, I don't know, there's a lot of them. And they're making great wine, and you go to a few of them. And everyone's got their own twist and with their own grapes and their own style, and that's what this can be for Hawaii. So this is our tropical wine.
Dylan is all in on building up Hawaii's cacao industry. So much so that he started a YouTube channel called Craft Chocolate TV to share everything he's learned. Now, if you're curious about chocolate making, cacao farming, or just want to geek out on the process, you definitely need to check it out. We'll be back after the break with more at House of Mana Up. If all this talk has you ready to support local, and maybe treat yourself while you're at it, you're in luck. House of Mana Up brings together some of Hawaii's most exciting local brands all in one place. It's more than just a store, it's a retail experience that celebrates the stories and the people behind the products. I had way too much fun in there, and the best part, now I know exactly where to go when I forget to buy someone a gift.
We love our gift boxes because really, as we've brought together 105 companies through our program, being able to create themed boxes, whether that be for different occasions. We do a lot of corporate gifting as well.
Yeah.
So as companies are looking to support local, have a really neat box that is for the holidays or for employee appreciation. There's so many reasons to be giving gifts. What's also fun is people can come in, shop in the store, and then we'll put it in a beautiful box and make it really fun and put some story cards in it for the entrepreneurs.
Oh, wow.
And wrap it all up and it's perfect to go.
Oh, so you can make your own custom gift boxes here then?
Yes.
Okay, what would you put in your gift box?
Oh my gosh.
What type of things?
So I would definitely put a Big Island Coffee Roasters espresso bite because I'm obsessed. I need
Yeah,
caffeine.
I gotta try that now.
And then I would definitely put a Ua Body. I love their dry oil. It's a sandalwood.
What's a dry oil?
It's like, I actually don't even know, but it's oil, but it's not sticky. It kind of dries quickly, but it's oil based. And I love that scent. It's really nice. I also love the Cocoa Moon. They're kind of like baby swaddles, but I use them as scarves or pareos.
I would do it too.
Yeah, like it's like a safety blanket on the airplane.
I'll just put it in my pocket and I'll just walk around.
Yeah. And I also love Mānoa Chocolate. I'm a chocolate person, so definitely have one of those in there. I guess my random thing I would do, I'm looking around the store for like the random cool, fun thing. Oh my gosh, how could I forget? I love Maui Nui venison. They're venison sticks.
Oh, wow.
That's actually for humans, not for dogs.
Yeah.
But it's such a good lean protein snack on the go. I always have one in my purse and like an espresso bite. So I got my caffeine and my protein.
Yeah, and then you got your baby blanket.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I can go anywhere. So we also started doing an Aloha market concept. So that was really bringing the concept of Mana up to other places outside of Hawaii. So that's like kind of this next piece around like, how do we create this whole experience someplace else and see how the companies do in a completely other city where folks are coming down to shop and getting excited. And even retailers are coming in, checking things out and looking at if they should bring it into the store.
What's the response been like in regards to that?
We've always been like, either we break all the records or we're like the top 3. So
That's
Haneda,
awesome.
we broke the record for the #1 pop-up they've ever had in the history of the airport. And then with our second one, we broke the first record. LA, we had a line wrapped around the block.
Wow.
And it was just incredible to see. And then New York, we were the 3rd highest grossing pop-up in the Shopify space that they'd ever had.
Wow.
So that was kind of cool.
This is one of the first ever drawings I ever did with pencil.
Wow.
So one of the things is I started on an iPad and I kind of felt like I wasn't like a real artist because I'm not painting and drawing. So in order to prove to myself, I was like, I'm gonna do some pencil. This is actually all of our Hokulea merchandise that we got to do. It, thank goodness, came out. This is my first try at a t-shirt, and it came out.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah. Thank
Wow,
goodness.
not bad for your
I know.
first try.
I know.
First t-shirt, like.
This is my friend Thomas. I don't know what to call it. I was gonna call it Peeping Tom.
Yes.
I
High
don't
five
think-
for that. I don't think you'll appreciate it, but I do.
And then our wall of pareos. This has inadvertently become kind of like a culty thing, where like it's like, how many pareos can you get for Aloha de Mele? We try to keep it as local as possible. Some things aren't manufactured here, but they do go through our hands.
Yeah.
At least in here.
And it started right here.
That's right.
This is local.
Yeah. I think I was made in Hawaii.
This all sounds so amazing, and it's also at the same time, like, this is exhausting. This takes a lot of passion to just keep, like, I don't know how you do it. Why do you want to bring Hawaii to the world?
Well, there's a lot of reasons, but the core of it is, I think it's important to have opportunity here for folks that want to live here. I think it's important to have local leadership, CEOs, founders, business owners. Hawaii was built on small business, and it's important for us to create these pathways so for folks to be able to stay here and to thrive here. And so I think that's the real driver for us here at Mānoa.
Big mahalo to Mānoa, Aloha de Mele, and Mānoa Chocolate for your time and for all the hard work that you're doing to build up our state. And if you're craving more chocolate, Dylan actually gave us this tour of his whole factory. It was wild, super fascinating. And that video is going to be coming out soon. Just keep an eye on the Here in Hawaii YouTube channel for that one. That's it for this episode. We'll see you next time. Aloha. What advice would you give those kind of at the earlier stages?
If they have this idea and they haven't started yet, I'd say do it. Just get started, try, learn, right? And talk to more people besides just your family and friends that are gonna be nice to you. Get some real feedback. But if they've already started and there's some things that are growing, it's like continue to just be pushing. Don't quit your day job. You know, continue to be able to cover your basics and have that ability to be creative, to be strategic, and to use those weekends and evenings and build the company as far as you can before you make that big move to make that shift.
Yeah.
But it's exciting. There's so many great resources out there for companies earlier stage than Mānoa. There's like the YWCA, the Patsy Team Inc. Center. There's just so much more out there now than when I moved home in 2012. It was like one thing happening once a week, maybe. And now it's like, I love that there's so much going on. I don't even know half of it, which is awesome, you know?